Okay, we are still here in Phoenix, Arizona.
Hot Phoenix, Arizona.
Hot Phoenix, but it's a dry heat.
At
It's a dry 120.
Yeah, at 120, it doesn't matter.
That's right. And I'm Chuck Vail at goRIA. And as you've been watching, hopefully, for the past couple of days, we are broadcasting live from the FPA National Conference. And great sessions, but from my perspective, it's a cornucopia of fantastic guests to have. And we have one with us right now, Laura Garfield, from great name of a firm, Idea Decanter.
Thank you. It's actually Laura Garfield, like the cat or the president. Either one.
Okay.
I like the president better. But thanks for the compliment on the firm name.
Okay. Well, I got one right.
Yeah.
50%. That'd be good if I was in baseball. Okay.
Not so much in school.
Not so much in school. That's correct. All right. Before we get into the chat here, I want to thank our sponsor, LPL Financial. Keep forgetting, you're a video person. You got to remind me. I got to look at the camera, not the video screen, the camera.
Up here, Chuck. Up
yes,
here.
Thank you. And I do want to thank our sponsor, LPL Financial. And as I very much like to say, if you like LPL as an independent broker-dealer, you will love LPL as an RIA custodian. Fantastic value proposition, worth checking out. Okay, thanks for joining us here today for this. And I know you do a lot of work with video. So goRIA, we are always talking with advisors that are leaving someplace, probably a wirehouse or some broker-dealer, and thinking about going into the RIA space. And one common theme is always, who's there to help me, right? I'm at this broker-dealer, I'm at XYZ wirehouse. They do everything for me. They order the business cards, they order my stationery, they do my video, if they let me do video, so on and so forth. But what if they want to go out on their own and make this big announcement to their clients? What are some tips for that?
Well, first, Chuck, I'd like to say this is like the most exciting moment there is because you've been living almost handcuffed in marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the handcuffs are off. The sky is almost the limit when you're an RIA. And there are many advisors who are restricted and can't use video. Yeah. And when you take that leap, when you make the transition, like the doors are wide open, but it can definitely be scary because if you have no experience in video marketing, you're thinking, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. This seems too much for me, even if you realize that there's real value in communicating through video.
Right. Great problem. What's the solution?
Well, Idea Decanter is great, but not to be a sales pitch, this is definitely something you can solve as a DIY or find a local production company. We do video remotely, so we help advisors do this through an app they download to their phone. Any of those solutions, though, really harnessing the power of video, your ability to get in front of people. There's some research that says something like 60,000 times the amount of information comes through in 3 seconds of video than when someone's reading 3 seconds of copy.
60,000?
Yes.
Wow.
And it's like, the tone of your voice, your body language, what's happening with the expression on your face. People get a feeling when they watch video in a different way than they get a feeling when they're reading copy. So it really is a chance to make a powerful connection.
Yeah. And that's such a great point. I mean, I think we all know that intuitively, but when you really quantify it like that, it makes a ton of sense. All right. So one thing we really pride ourselves on goRIA is specificity. So specifically, what are some tips that they want to include in this video message to their clients? Hey, I'm going from this wirehouse. I'm setting up my own RIA. I'm tucking into this RIA. What are some of the real salient points they want to get across?
Well, I think when it comes to video, what too many advisors overlook is getting personal. Because getting personal is what makes us memorable. It's what makes people connect with us. And so as opposed to approaching it with which boxes do I need to check? Which information do I need to convey? I like to start with what story should you be telling? Yeah. So how can you say something personal, make your own analogy that no other advisor would make, give a little piece of your own journey that will really make people feel connected to you when they watch the video. So as opposed to starting with the facts and figures, really starting with the feeling.
That makes a ton of sense too. So you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Can you share with us your favorite sharing of a personal story concept?
Well, we have an advisor named Dave who was working in Syracuse, New York. He moved post-COVID, post-pandemic, down to Florida. So I think he claims Florida now. But Dave did a video that got very personal, but kind of in an unexpected way. At the beginning of the video, Dave gives some personal details, like he still remembers all the license plate numbers from the cars his family had when he was growing up, and all of his childhood friends' telephone numbers, and all of his high school wrestling stats. He has a mind for numbers, and now he puts it to use for his clients. That story helped him book 10 new meetings with prospects and close 6 deals and bring in millions of dollars in assets. And it was talking about things that you would talk about, over a beer at the bar. It is not complicated, but it's the things that make you different from every other advisor out there.
And human.
Yeah, humanizing.
That's great. Do you have one more? Because that was fantastic. Give us more. Give us more.
We work with an advisor named Ari, who has a business called Endurance in Manhattan. And he calls it Endurance because Ari is an Ironman athlete.
Wow.
He often places in the top 2 or 3 of his age group. He is an incredible guy. He's got a fantastic story. And his business brand really does reflect that. Endurance, and he makes all of these analogies to what it takes to prepare for an Ironman, to what it takes to prepare for retirement. And Ari just works those personal details of his struggles and his successes in his Ironman competitions into his video content. And because he did that and he pushes out the content, he had another advisor reach out to him and say, "Hey, I think you're the perfect guy to take over my book of business."
Wow.
And in Q1 of this year, he 2.5x'd his book. And it was because this guy got to know him through him sharing personal details in his videos.
I think that's really great advice. I mean, for people going RIA, but established advisors, no matter where you are. Yeah. We do a lot of content marketing, and I do try to weave in some personal stuff, but maybe not as personal as what you're talking about there. And I'm going to give that some thought. I think that's a really neat idea. It's got to share or give some thought, I guess, first to which personal stories do I want to share.
Yeah.
Some of you probably don't.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's always a fine line.
Right.
What's TMI?
Yes.
Too much information. But it really, it's how we connect.
Yeah. Do you have any good TMI stories that you could share? Like someone like you were advising, we don't want to go there.
Yeah, I had an advisor come to me and ask if she should include in her why story this story about her daughter who had gone into rehab and had a really hard time with drug addiction. And my question to her was, how would you sharing this story with the world in a video impact your relationship with your daughter?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I don't think it would help the relationship. And I said, I don't think this is a story that I would put out there.
For sure. I mean, I love business, but it is family first. And that could be a rough Thanksgiving conversation on how mommy told your story about rehab on the internet and such. Okay, good. And just kind of wrap things up, what would be the one real big piece of advice? The personal part is great. So the second big piece of personal advice that you would give to advisors specifically that are about to break away, what would you tell them?
Well, I think when you're in that position, it can be hard to look around the corner. You are facing such transition, so many decisions about what to do right now, and it's all about this change. And if you look around the corner, there's the future of your business as you've launched out on your own, as you are independent. And so when it comes to video, if you are going to create one video asset, one thing to use in the announcement, then you probably shouldn't make it dated. You probably shouldn't say, in, December of this year, I'm breaking away, or, starting December 1, I've launched this new brand. If you can create something that's more what we call evergreen, that it's as relevant today as it is 3 years from now, then you'll have this kind of cornerstone of your marketing that will work for you for a long time. And so it's advice we give advisors all the time when they come to us and say, help us craft this messaging, help us record this video. Great. But how can we do the headline, the now, in the copy that goes around it, in the message you're delivering as the video gets consumed? Because if you think about how we use video, nobody's watching it in a vacuum. It's not like it's just popping up in front of you.
Yeah.
They can read text around it, and you can give the context there.
All right, that's a perfect way to end this for today. All right, so Laura Garfield from Idea Decanter, thank you so much for joining us. What a treat. And thank you all for tuning again for goRIA, the live stream here at the FPA National Conference. We've got 2 more to go. We will see you soon. Thanks.
Thanks, Chuck.